This could be the biggest update yet in terms of Manchester United finding that third midfielder. We've got big reports coming out. Have United got their man? It's all around Kone. This has been a name that's been on Manchester United's radar for a while now. We've heard of talks going on. Everyone's reporting on this. No agreement in place has been the stance throughout the week and over the last few days in particular. Obviously, with the World Cup ending at weekend, we expected more clarification on this situation, with Roma being open to selling Kone and of course the player wanting to move to the Premier League. When were we going to get the updates? When were we going to get that? Yes, this is getting close. Well, the first signs of this could have happened today. Terms agreed, an agreement in principle with Kone to move to Manchester United. Now, he is open to the move, as we already know. The only thing holding this up is obviously the agreement with Roma. Now, United have obviously gone to work on to the terms with the player, making the player obviously agree to this in principle, getting him on board with the deal, and obviously moving this forward now to a point where Italian reports today, Corriere dello Sport and a couple of other outlets in Italy are saying that now Manchester United are about to drop £43 million on the table to Roma for the French midfielder. Now, of course, you start to think, with the way that obviously the midfield situation is around the transfer window right now, the prices are absolutely astronomical. How the hell could a French international who's just played the majority and a big part of a massive World Cup be cheaper than Andre Santos, who has had one season in the Premier League? And you would probably be right, but the situation with Roma is that they need to balance their books, obviously, with financial fair play. And like Romano has said, this midfield transfer is going to be a lot cheaper than many others. Now, what does this mean? How do we move forward from here? Is this a here we go coming? Far from it. But of course, when you get the agreement in principle with the player, when terms are reportedly agreed, then you start to think that the player's on board with what Manchester United's project is, what United are offering him. And this is how United operate their transfers, as we know. Get the player fully on board and then move forward quickly. Now, is it guesswork? Are the Italian reports all coming out here? Lots of aggregator accounts are also running this story now. And we have been expecting some kind of movement on it, like I said at the start of this video, over this week, but it's just not happened yet. Now these reports coming out saying, and we'll bring up the reports now and we'll just go through exactly what has been said. Manchester United have reached an agreement in principle with Kone's representatives and are preparing an offer worth close to 43 million quid. The proposed fee may not be enough, with several clubs still monitoring the midfielder. However, Manchester United remain in pole position, with regular contact continuing between the club and Kone's camp. Now, that is
quite easy to activate. This is why Chelsea will be ready to accept the conditions offered by Aston Villa. So if now Aston Villa can finalize terms with Alejandro Garnacho, they can get the deal done in the next hours. So, Garnacho very close to joining Aston Villa. The final green light from the player is needed. Unai Emery is pushing to have him, so Unai is involved. Now depends on what happens with the player, because Chelsea will be open to accepting that proposal.
Just when everyone expected Alejandro Garnacho's future to involve one of Europe's biggest clubs, a completely unexpected destination has emerged. Aston Villa are now being linked with a sensational £56 million move for the Manchester United winger. And if the deal gathers momentum, it could become one of the most surprising transfers of the summer. For months, Garnacho has been at the centre of transfer speculation, links with Chelsea, interest from clubs across Europe, rumours of a fresh start away from Old Trafford. But very few supporters expected Aston Villa to enter the conversation. That's exactly why this story has exploded across social media. Villa have made no secret of their ambition. After establishing themselves as regular contenders for European football, the club are determined to keep strengthening their squad. The recruitment team believe they need more pace, creativity and attacking quality to compete with the Premier League's elite, and Garnacho is viewed as a player capable of taking them to another level. It's easy to understand why, at just 22 years old, Garnacho has already produced moments that have captured the imagination of football fans around the world. His explosive acceleration, fearless dribbling and eye for spectacular goals make him one of the most exciting young wingers in English football. On his day, he's capable of changing a match in seconds. That's the kind of player every ambitious club wants. For Aston Villa, signing Garnacho wouldn't just improve the team, It would send a powerful message, a message that Villa are no longer satisfied with simply competing for European places. They want to challenge the traditional top six. They want to attract elite young talent, and they want to build a squad capable of competing for major trophies. The reported £56 million valuation shows just how highly Garnacho is regarded despite the uncertainty surrounding his future. Manchester United know they're dealing with one of the club's brightest young talents, and they won't allow him to leave cheaply. If Villa are serious, they'll need to convince both United and the player that this is the right move. But here's where things become even more interesting. A move to Villa could actually provide Garnacho with something he's been searching for: regular football, a central role in the team's attacking project, and the opportunity to become one of the faces of an ambitious club rather than simply another talented player competing for minutes. Under Aston Villa's attacking style, Garnacho's strengths could flourish. Imagine him running at defenders with space to attack, linking up with Villa's creative midfielders, using his pace on quick counter-attacks. It's a partnership that many supporters can already picture. Of course, nothing has been agreed. The reported interest remains part of an evolving transfer story, and Manchester United have yet to indicate whether they would be willing to accept an offer in the region of £56 million. Transfer windows are unpredictable. One day, a player appears certain to stay. The next, negotiations accelerate behind closed doors. That's exactly why this story has attracted so much attention. Supporters from both clubs are watching every update. Manchester United fans are wondering whether Garnacho's journey at Old Trafford is nearing its end. Villa supporters are dreaming about welcoming one of the Premier League's most exciting young attackers